Thanks for staying with us. The city is putting together a special event to help vendors and citizens get together and promote some business opportunities. And to talk to us about that today are two specialists from our city's OMB, our budget office, Cheryl Shanaberger, the Assistant Director, if that's the correct title, and Helen Quintana, which I guess is, what's your title, Helen?
Specialist.
A specialist.
Contract specialist.
Contract specialist.
Yes.
Well, thanks for joining us today, both of you. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
A vendor open house.
Absolutely.
What's this all about?
We're kind of excited about this. It's an annual event, but this year we kind of changed the format a little bit from requests from vendors. This is an open house for the vendors and a trade show. And we have included in this a type of reverse trade show where you'll have agencies from within the Treasure Coast area that will also have tables so the vendors can drop by and learn how to do business with them. But also we're going to allow vendors to purchase booths and show their goods and services. This is also open to the public. And of course, all the staff of the different agencies will be allowed to come.
So this is also a chance for those people from the public to come out and see these different businesses, these vendors.
That is correct.
And maybe find something that they're interested in purchasing or make some exchange there.
That is correct. And in the years past, it's always been sponsored by the city. We are now doing this co-sponsoring with the Treasure Coast National Institute of Government Procurement, which is the chapter of a national organization for procurement all around the world. So we're very excited about co-sponsoring with them, and we think vendors will have an opportunity to come in and show their goods and services not only to the public, which is also invited, but to all the staff of these different agencies. So we're really excited about this.
I know your whole department, you work hard to make this happen.
The person that worked the hardest is Helen Quintana. She's the one that actually has put this together this year.
Helen, people may not realize that the city has to operate as a business. There are so many purchases we need to make. Is that how you get involved with vendors and different businesses in the community?
Oh yes, and I think Cheryl can give you an idea of just how much the city spends on services and goods with these vendors. And it's a win-win situation for the vendors as well as the public and the entities of the NIGP organization who do business as well with these vendors, because they get to meet each other, see the public can see where their tax monies are spent and on what types of expenditures. The entities get to make one-on-one contact with the vendors and vice versa.
So a vendor could be any kind of business that might have a reason to sell something to the city. For example, we need a new camera for TV 20. Would that be a vendor as well? Somebody,
yes,
a company that would sell that?
Yes.
And then other stuff that might be of more practical use. The city still has to buy shovels for the crews that are out putting pipes in the ground, and equipment and clothing and shoes.
Exactly.
Do the companies that sell that? That's
safety equipment, printing, all kinds of,
that's a printing is a big one.
It's a gamut of services and
so any
products.
citizen out there might have reason for any of those to hire one of those vendors or buy something from them. So this gives them some exposure then.
Yeah, if they feel the need for some of the items, commodities that the vendors have, they can have the opportunity to meet with them as well, see how things work, why we buy them and why we need them, how we use them.
And Cheryl, you know that the City Council is always trying to increase business opportunities in this town, looking for ways to help businesses improve their bottom line. And I guess that's why this matters as well. It might help those
Absolutely.
businesses.
I think this is a great opportunity for those vendors, because remember, just the city of Port St. Lucie spends $70 million in capital improvement projects. Of course, this would be the bigger projects that which you mentioned with shovels, but putting down roads and building buildings and stormwater things. But we also spend $80 million just on everything you see here, this table that we have
Office
here.
Supplies,
office supplies, flashlights, it's just, the gamut is just anything you can imagine. And of course, one thing nice that the citizen would see is that, well, if we're purchasing from these vendors, we have vetted them We know that, you know, they meet the requirements for insurance and for the licensing by the city, so that gives them a level of confidence when they're buying certain things from these.
That's a great point. They know they're not dealing with somebody who can't really stand by their product or their
That is
service.
correct.
It's somebody who's already been checked out. That's a great point. Little sense of comfort there that you're dealing with a business that's established and has the proper licensing and all those things in place.
Right.
I know the Office of Management and Budget, OMB, keeps busy with all that stuff, and it is amazing, all these things that have to be purchased just to run the city, and all the big things that people would think may not, or they may be aware of, the huge dump trucks and all that stuff, but down to the smaller things too.
Down the very smallest thing.
That also get used.
That little Post-it note to the paperclip.
Everything, right. So if somebody is a vendor and they want to participate in this, what should they do?
Well, they need to fill out an application, and to get that application you can just go to email to our web email address. I think it's on the bottom
website.
And it's OMB TEMP OMB at cityofpsl.com.
Okay.
So if you just go there, you'll get this application to be able to come to this and get a booth and be able to show your goods and services.
Now, is there a fee involved?
There is a minimal fee. It's $50, and that will gain you a table plus 2 chairs.
And like other events we have, say the Hurricane Expo, vendors take that opportunity to come out and meet the crowds of people coming through.
We hope so.
This event, tell us, I'm sorry, the date one more time.
It'll be June 21st. It's at the Community Center, and it's from 1 to 5.
That's correct.
Okay,
yes.
so that's during a business day. That's probably the best time for that kind of thing. Businesses are operating.
The other caveat, too, that would be helpful to the vendors is, remember, we're going to have agencies from across the Treasure Coast there. So that means you're going to have every government agency, St. Lucie County, Martin County, St. Lucie School Board, Indian River School Board. So it will be agencies from Brevard all the way down to through Martin County, and they will have tables. So the vendor can come and he can bring another person. They can still show to the public or to the staff, and then he can walk over to the table and say, well, I've never done business with Martin County. How do I get to do business? And there will be someone there that will give him the information and tell him how to get business with Martin County.
Right, very good. I'd point out before we break here, people may not see you often, the people from the Office of Management and Budget. You're back there toiling away, making all this happen. But your department, you have won awards many years in a row from the National Institute for Governmental Purchasing for doing all of this stuff right, for making, tell us about that. That's been many years of that.
Yes, I think we're at least 10 years on some of the awards, and you know, in procurement, we like to benchmark ourselves against the best, and that is what these awards do. We see across not only the United States, as I said, these are international groups, so we're competing with people from Germany, Ireland, Britain, Sweden, and we are looking and competing with their best practices compared to our best practices, and that's how we've won the awards, is by you know, submitting what we do, and then we learn from them and they would learn from us. So that gives us a benchmark to show that yes, we are doing what is right, we're protecting the city's money, we're being innovative, and we're moving forward every day, continuing improvement.
That's the key. That's a great assurance that the city is handling tax money properly and efficiently, and it's not being wasted and it's not being unaccounted for. Your accounting techniques, what you do in your office, is very professional, very closely watched, and regularly awarded. That's great. That's great news to have.
Thank you.
And it's good work on your whole department's part.
Oh, we appreciate
and I know you're behind that every day, working hard.
Yes, we are.
But we don't have you on much, and so people may not know who you are.
We're also accredited, and I think we're only out of Florida. There's like 180 agencies, and there's only 47 that are accredited in the state of Florida. What does accredited mean? It means that we do certain things that are required by and considered the the correct way of doing things, and they have come down and judged and looked in how we do our processes, and they say, yes, you're doing these things, so now you are accredited. And so that's very important also.
Right, and you've even been invited overseas to come talk about some of these techniques and things that the city has done.
I have been honored to do that.
Yeah, well,
very fortunate.
That's great to know that we're doing it right. Before we go, June 21st, vendor event. How about a phone number that somebody could call if they wanted to talk to somebody, the number of the office up there?
I'll give you your phone number.
Well, they can call me, Helen Quintana, at 871-5221.
Okay, 871-5221.
5221, yes.
Well, great. Thank you both for taking some time to talk to us about it today. Let's hope some people come out and really make some connections, helps the businesses, helps the citizens find what they're looking for, and it's always good when the city can be in the middle of that and make those connections for people. Thank you, Cheryl Shanaberger, as Assistant Director.
It's Deputy Director.
Deputy Director, okay,
Yes.
of OMB.
Yes.
And Helen Quintana, Contract Specialist.
Yes.
Great. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ed.
Good to have you. And we'll be back after this quick message.